going to be very crisp and lovely dosa, and it should be like the way we get in the market, this perfect dosas. I'm going to share all the tips and tricks how to make perfect dosas, and so hope you follow and like my recipe. Do subscribe my channel. Thank you. So let me introduce you with the ingredients. This is rice, idli rice. I have soaked it for 4 to 5 hours. All the ingredients here have been soaked to washed and soaked for 4 to 5 hours, and then we'll put it for grinding. So this is idli rice. This is white lentil or urad daal split. This is flattened rice or poha or chivra. This is chana dal or Bengal gram split and washed and soaked again. This is methi dana. Methi dana is fenugreek seeds. These are also washed and soaked. So all these things have been soaked for 4 hours. The quantity I'm going to tell you is, if you're using 3 cups of rice, you have to use 1 cup of urad dal. So here I have used 4 cups of rice, so about 1.5 cups of urad dal. But yes, you have to maintain the ratio of 3:1. Then this is 2 full tablespoons, which is it has increased in volume after soaking in water. And this is again about half cup, or you may call it 3 tablespoons full, is the Bengal gram or chana dal. This is also, everything is soaked for 4 to 5 hours. And this is 2 teaspoons of methi. So I have soaked everything, washed and soaked for 4 to 5 hours. Now I'm going to make paste out of it. So I'm going to grind it in a stone grinder. There's many available in the market, but you can use it in the mixer, normal mixer or blender jar. But what you have to keep in mind is, this rice, when you grind this rice and dal, do not mix it. First grind the rice to the smooth paste, and then grind the dal and the other ingredients. So other ingredients you can mix with dal, but rice you grind separately, because once you grind the dal, the blender jar will become very smooth, because this dal is very much smooth in texture. So once you grind it, then it's possible that the rice is not grounded very well after that. So first thing is, you grind the rice, and then take a big container, pour the rice there, and then you grind your dal and the other ingredients together or in batches, and then add everything together. So I'm going to repeat the next step. Okay, so first step is your proper washing and soaking of these ingredients. Second is grinding, and third is fermentation. So we have soaked already. Now I'm going to grind it, and then I'm going to leave it for fermentation. So my batter is grounded well. I use this, and I have left it for fermentation. So I'll show you in the morning how it looks like after fermentation. So I'm going to cover a few very important points here. For fermentation, if you are at a humid place, so it's the best environment for a batter or a bread, any kind of fermentation or microbial growth. It's the perfect environment. But if you are in a country where the temperature goes very low, below 10, or below even below 15, so that means the thing is not going to ferment well, and the dosas will not be like dosas. So what you have to do in that case, like when I was in States, I used to keep it in the oven. So I used to preheat the oven just for 5-6 minutes, and then cover it well, cover the batter and this well, and then wrap it with a blanket or a towel, and keep it in overnight for fermentation. So we have to keep this overnight for fermentation. Overnight means 7 to 8 hours in a humid place. So after that, we'll see that it is fermented well. So that I'll show you in the morning. So at night, I'm just going to leave it here, because Singapore is very humid. So I'll just leave it on the slab covered, and I'll show you in the morning how it looks like. So now I have left the, I'm going to show you how the batter has puffed well and how does it look like after being left for 8 hours in a humid place. So let me show you. So when you scrape the dosa, you can see lots of air bubbles. See. So these air bubbles make it light. Can you see now? Make it light and fluffy, and sometimes it like increases too much in quantity, so we don't want to over ferment it too. 8 to 9 hours is sufficient, and you can see this it is rising like double of its original quantity, and it's so bubbly and a lot of air pockets inside, so you can feel the lightness. And then what you have to do is you have to beat it again, so that you have to break the air pockets. Then mix the salt, and the dosa batter is ready to make. See how nicely it has been fermented for 8 hours. So if you leave it for 10 or 12 hours, it will get fermented more, but it totally depends how much. I don't want to ferment it too much, so 8 hours is sufficient for me, and it's too light and fluffy now. So now I'm going to make my dosas. So let me introduce you with the ingredients that we are going to use for making the dosa stuffing. It's the regular stuffing, nothing fancy, but I have to show you because I'm going to make dosas after this. So for stuffing, I'm taking potatoes, boiled potatoes, and these totally are dependent on how much you want to have in how many dosas you want to serve. So it's optional, but I'm taking little bit for just to explain you the process. So, and this is green peas. Green peas are optional too. People add a lot of other things like peanuts, cashew nuts. So whatever you have available and handy, you can use that. And this is salt. You can use the regular salt too. This is samba masala. This is red chili powder. This is mustard seeds that I'm going to use in the beginning for tadka. And these are curry leaves. So curry leaves and mustard seeds I'll be using it as a tempering first, and then I'll add my other spices and potatoes to make the filling for dosa. So my pan is completely hot, and now I'm going to add oil. Just a little bit of oil, about 1 tablespoon or 2 teaspoons is enough. Then I'm going to add my mustard seeds. See how hot it is. Then I'm going to add my curry leaves, green chilies, I'm going to add my green peas. Sorry for that water, it's frozen green peas. So you can use fresh one, it gives much better taste. So these are frozen green peas. I have defrosted it and used it. And once the green peas are done, then we will add our potatoes and the spices, and we'll roast it well. So it takes just about 5 to 6 minutes for the dosa preparation if your potatoes are already boiled. Now I'm gonna add my boiled potatoes, so you have to mash it with hand and add. So reduce the flame, and now we are going to add samba masala. about everything, just about 1 teaspoon, because the mixture is very less. This was salt, and this is red chili powder, which is optional. If you are using green chilies or you are fond of green chilies, you can completely skip red chilies. But sambar masala, salt, these are things you have to add it to your dosa stuffing mixture. So I'll just keep mashing and roasting this. And if you want to sprinkle some water too, to make it little more thin paste kind of stuffing, you can do that too. My potatoes are very soft and boiled. I kind of overboiled it, so I don't need to add water. But sometimes I do that too. Sometimes I add water to make a thin paste of it. So here you can see I'm roasting the mixture. I'll just roast it for about a minute more and it's ready. So now I've covered and cooked it for about 2 more minutes, or you can say you can do it on 1 minute on high flame as well. So you can see everything is cooked and blended well, and nice aroma of the mixture is coming. The green peas are cooked completely. So now we are going to make our dosas. So for making dosa, the very important topic which I'm going to cover is the pan. The pan, either you use non-stick or cast iron pan. So I'm using cast iron pan, and if you're using cast iron pan, then the pan should be seasoned well. So seasoned well means you have to grease it with oil and then create smoke till it becomes smoky. Then you switch off the gas, let it cool down, and your pan is seasoned well. So once you have used it, you don't need to season it every time. It's just that when you wash the pan, then you need to, and it's completely dry, and because it's iron, so kind of rust starts coming, then you grease and season it well, then it becomes like non-stick completely. So and when it's not necessary also, every time you use it, then you wash it with detergent. It's better you wash with water and wipe it with a paper towel, and then you can keep it and reuse it. So this is cast iron pan, and I have heated it. So after heating, then I'll pour my batter, and I'll tell you how to pour the batter, how to spread it exactly. And there are a lot of questions, like people say when we spread the batter it sticks to the ladle. So the reason behind that is either you're not too quick to spread it, or your pan is very hot. So if your pan is very hot, just sprinkle some water, slow down the flame, sprinkle some water like we see in the market vendors do it, or the restaurant people do it. So you have to sprinkle some water and let the temperature cool, lower down a bit, and then you can start spreading your batter again. And make sure that every time you spread, after that the pan should be a little drier. If there is some oil, again it will start getting together and making it like a more lumpy. So yes, that's how it goes. So hope I'm clear enough to explain it. If you have any questions, you can ask in the description box too. So let's make our dosas now. Our pan is hot enough, and now I'm going to spread my batter. So I've already greased the pan, so I don't need to put oil. There should be no oil visible, it should be greased only. Then only your batter is going to spread well, and you can make crispy dosa. So yeah, I'm taking a ladle full of batter. See, put it in the center and be quick to spread it in circular motion. Center should be little thick, slightly thick, and the side should be little thick too, but the center, the middle part is like, it should be very, very thin. So look how I'm spreading it. And now it has started drying because our pan was hot enough. So now I'm going to pour some oil. And at this stage you have to add oil. Do not add oil when you just poured it and it is still wet. I'm using olive oil. You can use any oil as per your choice. This is completely your choice. So see how well fermented our dosa is. You can see the bubbles. And the oil also goes inside very nicely once it has fermented well. So we will let it cook and be patient when you're making dosa. So be patient, let it be golden in color, leave the sides, and then you have to start scraping. So I'll tell you, let it be like this for about 10 to 12 more seconds. Spread the oil evenly, slow down the flame so that because it should go in the corners too. And it will automatically start leaving the sides, so you don't need to keep scraping it. You will see how the edges will become golden and it will start leaving the sides. That is the indication that it's now ready to be flipped or folded. So if it is this thin dosa, it gets cooked nicely. So I don't flip it and cook it. I'll just put the stuffing in the center and see it has started leaving the sides now. So I'll now start putting my stuffing in. So see, I've started spreading my stuffing. Okay, you can see this golden color here, all the sides. That means it's getting ready, but you have to make sure all the sides should be done properly. So if you want to rotate your pan, you can rotate your pan too. See, it has left its sides. I don't need to scrape it or do something. So now we can fold in our dosas. Look at that. Isn't it perfect? Hope it's the perfect dosa that you get in the market. So I'm going to make another one and I'll plate it then. So this is my second one, and again it has started drying up. So now I'm going to add some oil in the center. See, center is still uncooked, so I have to give it a little bit more time to get it cooked well. And then sides also, until unless you see the golden color, the edges have left sides. Before that you don't try to take it out or scrape it. It will automatically start coming. You can use a spatula or a brush to spread oil. Or if you are comfortable with this method, then you can continue. Bit more oil to the center because it's very thick. So after one or two dosas, your dosas will come out very perfectly and neatly. Even because I'm used to of making it, so it's like in first attempt I can make it. But if you're a beginner and you're making it, don't worry. Just be patient and you will get it. So I'm now putting my stuffing. And you can fold in any shape, like flat or round. Look at that. So friends, hope you have enjoyed my dosa preparation and all the tips and tricks. Even if after that you have some questions, do let me know. Ask in the comment box. And subscribe my channel, like my video, follow me for more recipes. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice day.